Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. We're at the end of the week. We're on day number 45 in the entire series. And I'm so happy to see so many of you tuning in consistently, regularly, learning, growing, and expanding every single day. I mean, I'm more happy about your commitment to show up for yourself than I'm even about the fact that I get to just be here and rant out whatever thoughts I want to share with you every day. Because there's something beautiful about human beings that choose to grow. There's something magnificent about people who can find this beautiful balance in being enough as they are now, while also choosing to learn, to grow, to succeed, and to become more. And I'm so grateful that you are the kind of people who tune into this and who choose to go into that balance of life, because then you can achieve what we call true fulfillment. We are not just stuck on some level, you're constantly growing, you're constantly succeeding, you're constantly making an impact, whether it's for yourself, for the people around you, for the people at work, or any or other way that it may be. Your growth has an impact not just on you, but on the entire world. And that is why today I want to talk to you not about how to just grow instantly or what are the some tips and tricks that you can follow. Instead, like every other session, I want to go deep with you into one powerful concept, into an idea that can completely shift the way you show up for people at work, the way you show up for people in your relationships, and the kind of actions and abundance you attract in your life completely shifts away and completely changes to align to the goals that you have. So, the shift that I'm talking about today, as you might have seen the thumbnail, is the 1% shift that creates 100% results. And I'm not joking when I say that. I'm not saying that just because it's a good title to have. I mean it. And that's why I say that. Because, see, the biggest myth we have about success is that one, it takes time, and two, it's complicated and has a lot of steps and has a lot of efforts and so many things that you have to do. But that's not true. It's a few basic first principles aligned and adapted to the thing that you are doing, and the moment they are connected to your actions, success becomes easy and effortless. What I'm talking about today is one of those first principles, the core foundational ideas that apply everywhere in our lives, not just in one area. And that 1% shift is to focus from what you are getting to what you are giving. Now, I know you've heard about this a lot. You've heard people say serve, give, add value, contribute, give back to society, give back to the world. And the moment we hear that, the very first thing that comes to our mind is charity. It's donations, whether it's in the forms of things, of food or shelter, or in the forms of monetary donations. When it comes to giving, that's just the first idea we have. And while that's a true form of giving and that's a noble form of giving, that's not the only form of giving that exists out there. And because we can't see those other forms of giving, we are actually blocking our growth, our abundance, and our success in life. I mean, tell me this, you must have seen this happen to you or to the people around you, or in some way or the other, where in your life, here's what has happened: you are growing, you are taking action, you are getting this close to your end goal, you're 95% of the way there, and something goes wrong and the goal is off your hands. You just cannot achieve it anymore. Or maybe in your relationships, it's like you've had this pattern going on over and over again, where you keep seeking commitment from the people you're in a relationship with. Everything seems to be going great. But the moment comes when the other person has to make a decision, and bam, they back out. And now you're left hanging by a thread again, and you're asking yourself, what do I do now? I mean, I'm doing everything right. I'm manifesting for the right partner. I'm giving all the qualities. I'm writing down all the qualities I want in them. I'm clear about my expectations. Every single thing is right from my side. Why is things still going wrong? In your career, you start thinking, I knew everything I was doing. I was able to take all the right actions. I knew the deal was going to make me win, and still it fell through. Why is that? Now, this may sound contradictory. This may sound crazy as well, but the reason all of it fell through was because your focus was on you, not on the other person, not on the service, not on the value that you were adding. And that's the biggest barrier to growth that any of us can face or even have in our lives. Because we're so focused on getting, achieving, growth, numbers, so many things that we are chasing, that we ultimately forget that the eternal exchange of whatever we are getting is based on what we are giving. Let me break that down for you very simply. Now, if you're giving me your time and your attention in this moment, you're paying me. Maybe you're not paying me money because you're using YouTube as a platform to access this session, to access this live video that I'm making for all of you here. And you're not giving me any other monetary help as well, which is essentially the way we think about giving or a transaction. But if you're giving me your time, isn't that a resource as well? If you're giving me your attention, if you're giving me space in your mind by showing up here every single day, that is something you are giving me. Now, why would you give that to me, by the way? The only reason you would give that is if you believe showing up here at 8:30 p.m. every single day adds value to my life. It helps me grow. It helps me succeed. It is truly something that I look forward to every single day. And that's why you show up. And maybe some days I fulfill your expectations. Maybe some days I fall a bit short of them. But if you would have noticed, my focus is never on the chat box. My focus is never on the praise that's coming there or even the questions that are coming there. My focus is not on the number of people I see on the live stream right there. My focus is on the camera lens. So even though you're not directly in front of me, I'm feeling like I'm talking to you. I'm communicating with you as if you're in the same room, and I'm conveying this energy to you. I'm conveying this focus to you, and I am giving my all to you in this moment. I'm not even keeping track of the time. It's now that my body clock is kind of aligned, because of which I can sense when the 15 minutes are about to be over. So I can wrap up the topic and give a nice closure to the conversation we are having. But because I value what you are giving me, I'm able to give you so much value that you feel like coming back every single day. You feel like coming here from Monday to Friday to watch the session, to learn something, to implement something. But if my focus was on how many people are subscribing, did they send some good messages in the chat box? Are they viewing enough? Do you think I would be able to be this real, this honest, and this giving with you as I am right now? No, I wouldn't. And just like that, in your career, you have to ask yourself, what are the things that I'm doing where I'm actually not adding value, where I'm not giving, where I'm just focusing on what am I getting? And rather than thinking, if I'm getting 10, let me give the value worth of 100, I'm actually thinking, how can I get them to pay me 100 even though I'm doing work if that is worth about 10? We don't like to admit it, but a lot of us have the second kind of thinking where we try to maximize the gain we're getting out of the other person. Where rather than giving value, we hold value. Where we think if I give too much, they won't value it. That's not true at all. I mean, in business, okay, to certain extent, yes, you cannot go beyond the scopes of your agreement. In your job, you cannot give your employer 26 hours of your day if you only have 24. That's not what I'm saying. That's unrealistic giving. That's compromise. That's like suffering. I'm not saying that. But can you be there to make sure that if your boss has asked you to complete a report, you do it not on time but before time, because that shows how professional you are. If there's a business deal that's just been cracked between you and an important client, rather than just saying, okay, now we'll start on the work, you think to yourself, what can I do to give this client the best experience of their lives? Where they believe, oh, it's not just the product or service that you're giving me, but it's the way of doing business with you that makes me want to come back to you, that makes me want to refer you to many different people. Those tiny things, that 1% shift of giving more, of going above and beyond, of never limiting your capacity to give because you know you have so much abundance inside to give, that is what makes you successful. Because think about it, let's take it from a manifestation point of view. When we talk about manifestation, we say you need to believe it that you already have it, you need to feel as if you're already that person. But if every day you're being lack, you're holding back, and you're not really giving the way you know you're supposed to give, and like the other person will say, why do I have to always give? Are you creating the energy of abundance or are you creating the energy of lack? Just ask yourself that question and you will have the answer, and you will know how this has become the gravest mistake that you're making. And you know where I see this happening the most, which is also something that comes up in my coaching, it's in relationships. I mean, modern day dating has become so complicated, so much more unnecessarily. What would I say? Complicated is a word, but okay, let's go with that word. Complicated than it should be. What are we even doing having this push and pull method that goes on? That if you're double texting the person, you're showing off that you're desperate. Or if you're replying instantly, that means you're showing that you're desperate. If you are not replying instantly, if you're being nonchalant, that means the other person is going to care about you. If you give too much at the start, the other person could misuse and exploit you. If you're not giving too much at the start, that will keep them hooked, and that is what will get them attracted to you. And we talk so much about these soft manipulation tactics that we use to make people fall in love with us, but then they are not falling in love with you, they're falling in love with the idea of you that you have consciously created to be liked. And then you don't know how to give there, you only know how to take. Where you know you want to go all out and give your heart to that person, you hold back. And that's what creates rifts, that's what creates resistances, that's what creates barriers. If you can simplify it by just thinking to yourself, no matter what relationship it is, doesn't matter whether it's my parents, doesn't matter it's my friends, doesn't matter it's my romantic relationship, doesn't matter it's my relationship at work, I am going to give my best. I'm going to be the person who's just there for everyone, not at the cost of my own empathy, not at the cost of my own time. I know where to draw the boundary, but I'm going to be the person who gives open heartedly, who's there, who loves. Like there's enough love in the world to fill every heart. A lot of us are so what a lot of us are so controlled about the love we are even giving to other people, that we think if I give too much love, no, they'll run away. No, they won't. Understand that. And if they did, that's probably for a good reason. Because if they cannot bear the love that you hold in your heart, how will you expect them to bear and hold you on the days you're falling apart? You just cannot. And then you wonder why relationships don't last. Then you wonder why people don't understand me. Then you wonder why am I so lonely even when I have so many friends? Question is, have you given and shown up enough for them? Have you shown them that it's okay to care? Have you shown them that even when they are not being their best selves, you can be there for them and you can help them? And a lot of people will say, don't expect that back though. Nobody will give it to you. It's true, some people won't. Everybody's not like that. Just because some people in the world are mean enough to exploit love, to exploit friendship, to exploit passion, to exploit connection, doesn't mean that you have to stop living your life. You have to stop living your love. You have to stop living your true nature only because of a few of those kind of people. That's the worst logic. I mean, in my friendships, I give love openly and freely. I'm there for people. I'm supportive. I'm helpful. And the funniest thing that happens is sometimes when you least expect it, the people you least expect it from, they show up for you when you are having a tough time. They help you out. And it's not that I even do anything with the intention of them helping me out. It's just that I keep giving, 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 because that is who I am. And that is what helps me create magical results for my clients in my coaching. I've heard from so many people that I'm working with now that in just a few weeks of working with you, it's like a completely new lens on life. And no one has supported us the way you have. The level of clarity you give us, the way you're always there. I mean, it's not just, it doesn't just feel like session finished and a conversation with Prabhsimrat is done. No, you're always there. That's a conscious choice I make, by the way. It's not because I'm always just chronically on my phone. No, I know who's messaging me. I know why they're messaging me. And I know that if someone has paid me and if someone has invested with me for their growth, I have to make sure they believe I got at least 10x worth the value of that. That is my aim. That is why in my coaching as well, my goal is not to complete a few number of sessions in 3 months. My goal is to get you results. Whatever I have to do for it, as long as I have your participation, oh, you can be sure I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter how unconventional, it doesn't matter how crazy, I'm going to make it happen. That's why my clients succeed. That's why the people I'm working with have so many magical results, only because I focused more on giving so much that the value feels like, oh my God, we never would have gotten this anywhere. And I'll tell you this, I'll leave you with this, for any growth area of your life, for anything that you want to achieve, whether it be your health, whether it be your career, whether it be your finances or your relationships as well. There's no better strategy for growth. There's no better strategy for success than giving your best. That's it. Give your best, do your best, be your best, be obsessed with excellence, and say no to mediocrity. That's it. Say no to being a mediocre and stingy giver. Say no to being the kind of person who seeks more than giving less. Be the person who gives more and gives so much that whatever he or she seeks gets fulfilled like this, because they've given so much. They're so open hearted, they're so abundant, even the universe is working in their favor. You see, we all have this idea. If I'm manifesting, I'm going to get the result first and I'm going to be happy. No. If you're manifesting, you're going to give the work first. You're going to give the effort first. You're going to show up for people first. And then you're going to get what you want, because the universe also wants to test, are you worthy and deserving enough of handling your own success? When you give unconditionally, you become that person because you act from that place of abundance. And that 1% shift is what creates 100% results, is what creates crazy love, crazy abundance, crazy joy in your life. And if you'd like to explore how you can make it happen, there's a link in the description of this video to apply for the form, to see if you qualify for one-to-one coaching with me. It's high intensive, it's incredible, it's a journey unlike anything you've ever taken before. So if you feel called to change your life for the better, fill up the form and we'll talk soon. And I'll see you once again on Monday with another incredible video. Till then, just make one decision. What am I going to give more, and more over the weekend to my career, to my people, and to myself? Become the creator, become the provider, become the contributor, and you will be amazed at the magic you create. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you once again on Monday. Bye.